This past week, I rediscovered a game on my phone called Star Realms. It's a card-driven deck builder with a sci-fi theme. An excellent head-to-head game with a good AI, but this past weekend, I rediscovered the Play Online feature, where I could challenge humans. The game has 4 factions with different strategies, and the best way to win is collect and play cards of the same faction to gain secondary effects, essentially making your cards more powerful because of the teamwork that they offer to each other. Simple enough, but the game is somewhat luck dependent on which cards appear in your hand to play, which cards show up in the common market to buy, etc. Like poker, sometimes you just don't have a winning hand. I had stopped playing this game because it's now pretty tough for me to level up. I'm level 17, which means I need a net 17 wins to move up to level 18. So if I win 3 and lose 2, I've only earned 1 net win. I bring this up because I went on an absolute tear this past weekend. I won a net 13 games in the span of Sunday alone. I spent time thinking about my strategy and executing it, and I saw results. I even allowed myself to consider, have I cracked this code? Am I now unstoppable? At 15 wins, needing just 2 more to level up, I paused and said, tomorrow, I will crest that hill tomorrow. Can you guess where this is going? Tomorrow arrived, and I lost 3 straight. In writing, we talk about getting into a flow state. We recognize how critical it is to capture the inspiration from the muse when it strikes. That delay is death in the creative process. So sure, the lesson today is don't delay. But the larger question is this: why is it so easy for me to sink time into a cell phone game when I could have, and perhaps should have, used that time to write fiction? The simple answer is, the game is fun, writing is not. And then there's this other, more intriguing conundrum. I've opined incessantly on the show about identifying your why you want to write, that it is necessary and critical to have something to say and establish your voice to say it. I have a voice, but often nothing to say. Which brings me to my second little story for you. I've been listening to a lot of philosophy videos online. Thinking about thinking might seem a bit too much like navel-gazing, especially to those working hand-to-mouth to make ends meet. I'm in that number. Like most Americans, I am one significant illness away from financial disaster, and I don't have the luxury to sit on my sun-soaked veranda and ponder what it means to be human. Then you think about Plato, and how the unexamined life is not worth living, and the old guilt and doubt creep in with, sure, you're a good father, a good husband, a good friend, a good employee, a good provider, clearly an elite podcaster. But when it all ends, what have you left behind? Why were you here, and why did it matter? And sure, I used to think that the power of my thoughts would endure in the written word, but the chaos of the current world has led me to critically review past empires in decline, the cyclical nature of human history, and to imagine the billions of people who have lived and died, and how dimly the glow of their former thoughts compares to the lights of the modern world. I don't want to be a nihilist, but it's hard not to be when you stop and think about it. But even then, could not a writer capture that bleakness, write it down, and share it with us to examine, celebrate, refute, or spit on it? And then, what if we pivot to times when life has been especially sweet, and how joyful it is to recall those moments of triumph over challenge, of compassion and wonder, and of connection with others? Whether a cup of coffee with a stranger at the airport, or reconciliation with a loved one, or a furtive glance that sparks a lifetime of sliding doors daydreaming about what could have been, there is an unlimited wonder and joy in this world. Could not a writer notice that for us, write it down, and share it with us in perpetuity? So learning this again for the millionth time seems both trivial and monumental. I'm embarrassed that I cannot keep this locked in my mind. At the same time, though, I'm overjoyed that I can recover this brand new again, like a freshly picked flower, a perfectly cooked meal, or a day without pain. It's the same reason why documentaries are so compelling to me. I want to know that other person's reality. I want to inhabit their existence as if it were my own. And poof, there it is. My reason to write is to understand connections among people. We can write stories that explore friendships, commitments, entanglements, and revel in how personalities repel and attract each other like balls on a billiard table, or celestial bodies. Whether my work will stand the test of time or not is irrelevant. Don't overthink it, I tell myself. Isn't that alone worth enough to just write it down so that you, the reader, whom I will likely never meet, can examine, celebrate, refute, or spit on it? And uncovering that and feeling really good about it, I am left to wonder, have I cracked this code? Am I now unstoppable? We will crest that hill tomorrow. See you next week. Start writing.